Hello and welcome back to another Geek Lunch Meet. I'm your host Chris. What's been going on this week? I've been mostly watching cartoons, which we'll come on to in a bit. Lockdown is starting to ease. Actually went out and had lunch in a restaurant and a couple of beers the other day for lunch, which was nice. So yeah, everything is starting to get back to normal. Cinemas have reopened. There isn't a lot out at the moment, like still limited capacity, but yeah, we're getting there. So first up, we have the trailer this week for Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, a new animated series, which will be coming to Netflix on the 8th of July. I'll drop a link in the description below. It looks as confusing as all the other animated films and the games. I've played most of the games. I've seen all the animated movies. It looks very similar. I mostly just watch them for the sort of zombie action, or they mostly move away from zombies, and you've got the biological weapons now, and just things mutating into other things, and shadowy corporations and conspiracies and things like that. So yeah, I should watch it for that. They're not, they're not the greatest written. They usually have some nice action set pieces, and the animation is usually quite nice. Some bits of the trailer, some of it looks like a glorified cutscenes from the game. Other stuff looks almost photorealistic. Looks really good. So yeah, that hits Netflix on the 8th of July. Also this week, Netflix again also announced Arnold Schwarzenegger is finally getting his first TV show, which is going to be a spy series. Hopefully it sounds something a bit like True Lies. I mean, that would have made an excellent show. Hopefully it's going to be something similar to that. Apparently it's going to be trotting the globe. I think it's his daughter, I think, that possibly don't know that they're each other as spies or something like that. So again, a bit of that True Lies coming in. So hopefully that'll be good. I don't know when that's coming. I suspect sometime next year, as they've only just announced it. I mean, Arnie is just a legend. His films for the sort of 80s and early 90s would guaranteed to be good fun. I mean, Predator, Terminator films, Total Recall, just that whole sort of for me, he was the sort of greatest, probably one of the last big stars who would, his name would open a film and make you want to go and see it. There's not really been anything sort of large than life character. So yes, hopefully to distill that down onto the small screen, hopefully that should be good. Some interesting news this week. Apparently, Henry Cavill, obviously best known for playing Superman in the DCEU movies, apparently he's up for the lead in a remake of Highlander. Now, I don't mind remakes so much. I know some people got an issue with them. The Thing is a perfect example. It's to me one of the greatest movies ever made. Obviously, it's a remake of The Thing from another world, but it takes it takes the essence of the story and updates it and adds something to it, and it's a sort of film that was sort of ripe for a remake. For me, Highlander, I mean, the clue is there can be only one. It couldn't even get all of the sequels were garbage. It's that sort of lightning in a bottle. It's a very high concept. The whole he's immortal. They all fight till there's anyone left, and then he wins the prize, and that's that. It doesn't need. If they're just going to remake it, it's more or less sort of same story. For me, it just doesn't need it. You're not going to be. I mean, to have virtually all of the Queen's kind of magic album on the soundtrack as well. I just don't know. I know some people say that it is the original was so bad it's good. I don't go in for that. I just think it's a good film. I think Russell Mulcahy, he's a good director. He's underrated. He's done some good stuff. His version of The Shadow, I love that whole sort of pulp adventure. Clancy Brown as Kurgan is brilliant. I mean, Sean Connery is the the Scottish Egyptian, and obviously Christophe Lambert as the French Scotsman. It's just bizarre. It shouldn't work, and it does work. I don't know. I don't think it needs a remake. We'll see what happens with that. Wow, this week, so I've been watching a lot of cartoons. I binged the whole of Invincible. It's an Amazon Prime original series. The whole lot's on there. I think it's 10 episodes. It's based on Robert Kirkman's comic book. He most famously did The Walking Dead. It is effectively superheroes. It's a bit like, if you like, Umbrella Academy, The Boys, Watchmen, anything like that sort of the deconstruction of superheroes as we know them. You've basically got Omni-Man, who is effectively Superman. He's this incredibly powerful alien that's come to Earth. and is its protector. And you've got his son who sort of reaches his teenage years, gets his own powers, becomes the superhero Invincible. And it's sort of him balancing his life and dating and going to college and with his superhero life, and then a lot more out going on as well, involving some sort of shadowy government organisations, and the things are not all what they seem with his dad, and not making it quite the hero that he's made out to be. Absolutely fantastic. Loved it. It is ludicrously violent and gory. If you like that sort of stuff, absolutely fantastic. People's heads, lots of heads being squashed and just blood flying everywhere. Total destruction, big mass destruction in the last couple of episodes. Huge amounts of death and violence. All good fun. And the cast is ludicrous. I mean, every single person in it is famous. You've got Stephen Yeun plays Invincible, who there's a lot of the Walking Dead cast in it because of Kirkman. J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man movies, playing Omni-Man. Sandra Oh is there. Zachary Quinto. Just loads. There's just too many for me to even remember. Just absolutely brilliant voice cast. Hilarious. It's really funny in places, quite poignant. And mostly just violent and a lot of blood. Highly recommend that. In a change of tack from that, I also did watch the whole of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 3, which dropped on Netflix on Friday. Binged a whole lot. I love it. It's great. It's for kids. It's a family show, but it's exactly the sort of cartoon we would have watched as kids on a Saturday morning. I loved it. We'd have bought the toys, played with them, acted out dinosaur battles, all good fun. And there is a lot of stuff for adults as well, and it does get quite scary in parts if you've got little kids. Just be aware of that. And what it does do really well is tie in with the movies. In season 1, you realised as it went along that it catches up with Jurassic World, and you sort of see the events of Jurassic World from another point of view of these kids who are in the camp on the island. Now, by the time we get to season 3, they've been stuck on the island for 6 months. And we then get to see bits as the series progresses. We see from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom at the beginning, where Wu sends his men in to collect the sample of the Indominus Rex to take back. You see the guy being chased by a T-Rex, and then he thinks he's escaped on a helicopter, and the mosasaur comes up. And we see all that from the kids' point of view as well. It's really well done. Also, there's some real throwbacks to the original film. They go to the original visitor centre. Lots of music cues play from the original film. There's a really nice bit where one of the girls says that she's heard that this place is cursed because of the ghost of John Hammond. She says that he broke his ankle and was eaten by the compies. To which one of the other guys says, "Well, it's ridiculous. Hammond lived a long and illustrious life after escaping from Jurassic Park." She said, "Oh no, I read this. I read this somewhere." And because it's the original ending of the book in Michael Crichton's book. Hammond was not the benign benefactor as Rich Amber played him, and he was a bit of a nasty businessman, and he breaks his ankle and the compies eat him in the end of the book. So it's a real nice nod. Also, Blue, the raptor from Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, also puts in an appearance doing that as well. There's a really scary dinosaur they bring in, a predecessor to the Indominus Rex, called the Scorpius Rex, which has got poisonous quills. He's animated really well. He's a very scary monster. I say again, if you've got little kids, he might be a little bit intense for them. It's just really good fun. There's lots of lessons about learning to work together as a team and always being there for your friends, and all good life lessons like that for kids. Hopefully, it looks like the ending leads into another series, so hopefully there's going to be one. I mean, they're churning these out. That's 3 seasons now in about 9 months. I think they've done them or something. So I suspect it's probably quite cheap to make. Some of the dinosaurs look really good. Some of the animation is very much sort of kids TV style. But if you like the Jurassic World films, especially if you've got kids, sit down and watch that with them. That's Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous on Netflix. Also, I watched on Netflix. Seems to be a lot of stuff coming on Netflix at the moment. What is Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead movie, which dropped on Friday. Now, the premise is simple. There is a vault underneath a casino in Las Vegas full of large amounts of cash, and Dave Bautista, best known as Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy to geeks everywhere, puts together a team to go in and try and steal all the money. So far, so Ocean's 11. But Brad and George never had to deal with a multitude of the undead surrounding the place. It turns out there's been a zombie outbreak in Vegas. They've walled the city off with like big shipping containers, made a big wall around it, and the president decided he's going to nuke the whole place and be done with it. So they've only got a couple of days to get in, get this money, and get out again. Very simple setup. I enjoyed it. It does have its issues. It's too long for a start. It's 2.5 hours long. It doesn't need to be. You could easily lose half an hour, if not 45 minutes. There's quite for every sort of action scene, it really slows down, gets bogged down with conversations between people. It's not needed to cut it down to even say hour and a half, hour and 3/4. Just make it a lot brisker, a lot more intense. I think would have been the way to go. It never quite lives up. It has an incredible opening sequence with the opening credits, very similar to what Snyder did with Watchmen, where the opening credits are highly stylized and really well done. This is exactly the same. It tells you the whole story of the outbreak during the opening credits. Very Zombieland-esque. Lots of blood, lots of gore, lots of people being eaten by zombies, and people shooting zombies just flying apart and exploding, or interesting and exciting ways, all set to some Elvis, obviously. And yeah, if the film could have sustained that energy for its entire running time, it would have been a classic. It doesn't. Although quite paradoxically, as I've just said, it's too long. I also think perhaps it might have worked better as a series that gave more time for some of the storylines to play out and some for the characters to develop a bit more. Basically, the undead, whilst there are just the standard shuffling sort of zombies that we know and love, there's a sort of hierarchy to them. And you've got an alpha zombie and his queen who are very intelligent. He rides around on an undead horse, and they do also, they've got say a lot of intelligence. It's a really interesting idea that doesn't quite play, or it doesn't have enough time to play out. I would have lost some of these sort of boring conversations between characters and concentrated more on them, or as I say, as a series, to have allowed more time for that to breathe and to get to know these characters a lot better. Would have been good. I mean, the human characters, this whole team, sort of written in broad strokes. There's not a lot sort of character development, which is fine for a film like this. I find Dave Bautista, he's very good as part of like the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's very good as a supporting actor. I'm not entirely sure he's lead man material. This sort of just about works because he is part of a team. It is. It's a good film. Give it a go if you like that sort of thing. Don't go in expecting too much. There's some really interesting bits. They had filmed the whole movie, and then it turned out one of the actors, there was accusations about sexual harassment, I think it was, or something of that ilk. So they completely refilmed all of their scenes with another actor, purely against a green screen, and then comped them in. I'm not going to say who it is. Have a watch of the film and see if you can work out who it is. If you don't know, if you didn't know, you wouldn't really be able to tell. There's a few, when you do know, there's a few shots where you think, yeah, okay, you can just about see it, but it's almost seamless. It's very well done. The effects work is good. There's the zombie effects are good. There's a zombie tiger that's escaped from Siegfried and Roy's show that's quite well done. Just on a really nerdy technical point of view, I noticed there were a couple of dead pixels during some of there's one particular scene, and there's a couple of pixels on the screen which is brilliant white and kept showing up, but they didn't show up in every single shot. I thought maybe it was my TV and I needed to do a pixel refresh to sort it out. But then as I was looking online, someone else had written a review and they had picked up and said, how come no one's noticed? Did no one notice that there was these dead pixels? I can't believe it got past an editor. Someone would have seen it. They're really obvious. It's a very dark scene, and you've got these bright white pixels. But I've noticed it on something the other day on Netflix. A couple of times we've been watching stuff, and then it's not on anything else. I'm wondering if it's something to do with the way Netflix streams stuff. For some reason, it's very, as I say, it's a very nerdy, very nitpicky thing. Yes, presume it's one of those things that could potentially get worse as more and more people subscribe, and obviously there's a lot more usage of the service. So yeah, just that's a very geeky thing, but yeah, something I've noticed and something obviously other people have noticed as well. So it'd be interesting to see if they do anything about that. Um, that's about it for this week. So thanks for watching. If you could hit like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out a great deal. Yeah, so take care, and until next time, eat geek and be merry.